Right now, your phone is somewhere within arm's reach. You know it. You can probably feel it. And in the next few minutes, some part of your brain is going to ask you to check it, even though nothing happened. But the real answer for why isn't about apps or notifications or willpower. It's about a survival system that is over 1 million years old, and it has no idea it's living in your pocket. Picture your ancestors standing at the edge of a clearing, scanning the tall grass. A sound, a rustle, could be wind, could be a predator. Their brain doesn't wait to find out for certain, it reacts first, asks questions later. That reflex kept that person alive long enough to have children, who eventually had you. You inherited the reflex, you just don't live in the grass anymore. You live in a world made of screens, and your brain hasn't caught up. Here's the part most people get wrong. They assume checking your phone is about boredom. It isn't. It's about an ancient information-seeking drive that once meant the difference between eating and starving, between safety and death. Knowing what was happening around you used to be survival information. Now it's a text message, but your brain still treats it the same way. In the 1950s, a psychologist named B.F. Skinner ran an experiment with pigeons and a lever. Sometimes the lever gave food, sometimes it didn't. The pattern was random, and something strange happened. The pigeons didn't lose interest when the food stopped coming consistently. They pressed the lever more. Skinner called this variable ratio reinforcement, and it turned out to be one of the most powerful behavior patterns ever discovered. Unpredictable rewards create stronger habits than predictable ones. Slot machines run on it. So does your phone. Every time you unlock your screen, you are pressing the lever. Sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's a message that makes your whole day better. You never know which one it'll be, and that uncertainty is exactly what keeps you reaching for it again and again, sometimes dozens of hours without even deciding to. Now go back further. Long before phones, long before agriculture even, your ancestors lived in small, tightly bonded groups. Social information wasn't entertainment, it was survival data. Who was angry with whom, who could be trusted, who had food to share. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent years studying primate social groups and proposed that human brains evolved their large size partly to track these complex social relationships. Gossip, in his research, wasn't a flaw of human nature, it was a tool. Knowing what was happening socially kept you inside the group, and being outside the group in that world could mean death. So, when a notification appears showing someone liked something you said or commented on something you posted, your brain doesn't read that as a small dopamine hit from an app. It reads it as something closer to, are you still safe within the tribe? That question used to take a village to answer. Now it takes a glance at a screen. There's a chemical at the center of all this, and it's almost always misunderstood. Dopamine isn't the chemical of pleasure, it's the chemical of wanting. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz, through decades of research on reward prediction, found that dopamine spikes not when you receive a reward, but in anticipation of one, especially when that reward is uncertain. The anticipation is the addictive part, not the result. This is why refreshing an empty inbox can feel almost as compelling as opening a full one. Your brain isn't responding to what's actually there, it's responding to what might be there. Think about how strange that is for a moment. You are biologically wired to crave information that doesn't yet exist. Now, picture the clearing again. Your ancestor isn't just listening for predators, they're also listening for opportunity. A distant call that might mean food, a shift in wind that might mean rain, which might mean water, which might mean survival for another week. The brain evolved to constantly scan the environment for anything that could change the odds of staying alive. That scanning never had an off switch. It wasn't built with one, because in that world, distraction could be fatal, but so could missing something important. Your phone exploits a system that was never meant to be exploited this efficiently. Every app you use was built, often deliberately, to mimic the unpredictability of the natural world your ancestors evolved to scan. The pull to refresh motion on a feed isn't an accident. It mimics the same mechanical action as a slot machine lever. And former tech insiders, including engineers who helped build platforms like Facebook, have publicly admitted that features like the infinite scroll and the notification badge were modeled deliberately on behavioral psychology, not user convenience. So when you reach for your phone without meaning to, you haven't failed. Your ancient scanning system has just found a target it was never built to resist. Here's a twist most people never consider. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed. The reflex that made you check the clearing is the same reflex making you check your phone. The brain that needed to know who in the tribe was upset with you is the same brain that needs to know who liked your photo. None of this is a personal weakness. It's a 40,000-year-old survival algorithm running on hardware it was never built for. Knowing that doesn't make the pull disappear, but it does change what it means. The next time you catch yourself reaching for your phone for no reason, you're not seeing a flaw in your willpower. You're watching a hunter-gatherer brain do exactly what it was built to do, scanning a clearing that no longer exists for a predator or a meal or a friend that was never really there. Right now, your phone is still somewhere within arm's reach, but maybe, for the first time, you understand exactly why.